Alright, people. Today I got over here a 2009 BMW M3, and I'm doing the rod bearing. So I'm just walking you through a quick process of what it takes to get it out. And it's not really difficult, but let me show you what I'm using. Um, Here we go. We got this S65 engine, V8 straight 8. So I got my engine support here. Just gotta put it right here close to the fender. Make sure you don't damage anything. And then you hook it onto this little hook right here. Tighten it down just to hold it in place. Once you do that, as you can see, I already got the oil pan off already. I'm gonna take you guys underneath the car, show you what I had to do to get it out. Got the whole subframe over here. Took off my rack and pinion. Is still connected. Did not disconnect it because I don't want to mess with the alignment. So I just took it out from the inner tie rod instead of from the outer tie rod. Just let it hang there. Got my bungee cord holding up all the cables and wires. And once you do that, you'll be able to release your two bolts here from the subframe. And once you get those off, you disconnect all your control arms. I took this out from this one goes here in front. Then we got the one straight there. I just basically just disconnect them, quick disconnect, not that hard. Got the engine mount here, which I will be replacing. Doesn't make sense to go all the way in this job here and not replace them, which you can see I'm moving it with my hand. So it's about that time. Then you got same process for the other side, and let me just show you. We got the rod bolts right over here. Got one, and you have to basically turn the engine to get to the other ones that you can't reach. I should get my flashlight, but basically you guys got the picture. What I would do, I would disconnect the bolts, take the cap off, slide out the upper bearing, make sure I lube it up real good. The new one, slide it right back on there and install it same opposite way that I took it off. Make sure you use a lot of lube. And when you're torquing those bolts, what I'm using, there's different torque specs depending on the bolts that you're using. So what I'm working with here is I have the ARP bolts. They come with their own grease lubricant, and it comes like this here in a pack. And we got the top bearings, and we got the lower bearings. We got them right here under there. So as you take them out, you just put them back in order. And these here are torqued to 60 foot-pounds. And you should be able to check the stretch on them after. But they said if you don't have the stretch gauge, you can just torque it to 60 foot-pound. You should be good after that. I think it's pretty safe. These are not the original factory ones. The factory ones, you have to torque them down to 6 Newton meter, then 20 Newton meter, then 70 degree turn, I think it is. I'm not too sure about that, but I double check. There's a double check on that, but it's about 70 degrees. The kit also came with the gasket and an oil filter, original BMW oil filter. Not bad. Kit was pretty expensive. Everything came up to about close to a G for the kit. It did come with some more assembly lube here also. They give you a lot of lube, so you know, do recommend using it. So let me get you guys back over here to the oil pan. The oil pan, as you can see, has a lot of these bolts here that I took out, which they are 30 torque 30, and they don't really have much pounds of torque on it. You just can basically it felt like about 80 foot-pounds. I mean inch-pound. They have different size, which it's not really easy to mix them up because they can only go in one place, and then you have to use a long extension, the torque 30 extension it's kind of skinny. Let me show you guys what I use here to get out on the pan itself. I use this long extension 30 to get the ones out from inside the pan, which is there's about 8 of them from under the pan. Let me show you guys here. Don't want to make a mess. I try to keep everything clean, but yeah. You see here they have some holes on the bottom of the pan there. Those bolts go in there. So you'll need that little extension. Then you got your subframe bolts, which is pretty noticeable. There's 6 of them. You can just remove those. And before you do that, you have to remove these clamps, 10mm on this for the hose there, another 10mm on that hose right there for the power steering. And then you should be able to safely bring down your rack and pinion and get to working on your bearings, which is not really it's not really that bad like how it look. It looks kind of crazy in here because it's a mess right now, but it's a pretty decent job. I wouldn't say it's too complicated. Just get your the main part is assembling and getting your torque specs right. Once you do that, you don't have to worry about anything. That is always the main thing of torquing down these rod bolts. It all depends on the bolt that you use. So yeah, people, give me a thumbs up and a like, and I'll see you guys on the next video.